Okay, hello, welcome back to another game of chess. Today we are playing against the move d4. We're going to play c5, of course, the old Benoni. Now, I'm going to briefly address the elephant in the room for anyone that is a regular viewer of my channel. Yes, I lost approximately 70 rating points yesterday. I came back from being deeply entrenched in maths exams and was just a little more rusty than I thought. So, we're going to play a Benko gambit today. We're going to bring back some of that lost elo with hopefully a beautifully executed Benko. We'll see if my opponent will accept, or maybe... Often people go for like b3 as a setup, such that if I take, they can recapture, and they kind of want to preserve this structure here. In response to b3, I tend to go for b4 lines, but I guess we'll investigate that more should we see it manifest on the board. Generally speaking, knight c3 cannot be right. The reason being, we just immediately play b4. Your knight's not going anywhere interesting. Maybe, I guess no, because if it came to b5, we just play a6 and the knight's trapped, right? Okay, so just a complete loss of tempo from my opponent, and just a nice spatial claim here. A thorn in my opponent's side on at the queen side. I'm going to play d6, winning connect 4. I guess that's not the game we're playing, though. We're playing chess, so hopefully I can also win the game of chess. Then we're going to fiank out with this bishop because... frankly, the prospects of developing my bishop down this diagonal are not fantastic. So we're going to get ourselves fiancé out here. Almost certainly castle kingside next move. Yeah, I mean, let's go for this. This is looking like a very pleasant structure. And I think, honestly, why the hell not play a5 and look to maybe try and perturb this, soften it up a bit, open it up for my bishop, of course. I'm liking what's happening here. It feels good. I could play bishop a6, and maybe we, in doing so, induce b3 to defend the pawn, to then be able to bite on b3 with the move a4. Honestly, I think I'm going to go for a4 first. We're going to just completely expand over here on the queen side. And maybe my opponent will go for a preemptive b3 or maybe some kind of a3. But honestly, if they do, I might just push past. I think b3 is definitely a mistake because I push past and we dominate the entire diagonal and they're just waiting to get discovered on so I can win that rook. But they play a3 here. And I was thinking this looks quite interesting as well. We just get a supported pawn, fixing this as a backward pawn, which we have eyes on already. And in any endgame, that is a massive asset here. Just immense progress with the pawns on this side of the board. The only problem is if I do this, I do relinquish the c3 square, which is definitely a square my opponent would like to use for one of their knights. But if I don't push, they probably take. I guess I could recapture. They just open up the rook. I really like the idea of shutting this down here. I mean, I don't exactly see how you go after the a pawn. Obviously, the knight can put pressure on it, but like we're defending it and could easily be further defending it. So I think this is going to be a semi-permanent structure here that's just going to keep this pawn as a target. Of course, they use c3 for the knight, but... not quite sure about this decision. We'll see in the analysis, but I think it's definitely very interesting. You know, you can't say we don't have an interesting position. Now, do I play bishop g4? The question if I do play bishop g4 is, I guess, I mean, of course, h3 or f3. f3 seems to be, I don't know, there's maybe an argument that we, in inducing f3, create some softness around the king that we could eventually exploit. I am thinking, though, that moving the bishop and putting the queen on c8 and just forming a battery here towards the h3 square might be a very pleasant idea indeed. Although I do need to definitely hurry up. I need to just remember here that the context of the game now is probably in any endgame I'm going to have a very interesting advantage. Maybe not, but you know, I've at least made more progress here. Okay, I think I will just go bishop d7, queen c8 just to start with. Wow, a very immediate f4. They're clearly going to try and push past with e5 and like break some of this up, coming down the center here. If I just play queen c8 now and you play e5 and I drop back to e8, I guess if you push, takes, and I'm doing very well. No, I'm not, I lose a rook. Although I guess here, push, takes, I have bishop c6. That could maybe eventually recapture this. Okay, I'm a little tentative. Maybe my opponent, you know, builds up and develops here. I don't know if they can immediately afford to go for this e5 move. They go for it. Okay, I don't want to take here because I leave this pawn just completely on its own. You can easily put pressure on that and it will probably fall. So instead, I am going to make this rather odd stepping back with the knight kind of move, where if you take here now, I can recapture like this. And should you not take here and instead push past, which I believe will seem at least an enticing opportunity for my opponent, then I think I can just take. And after takes, yes, okay. Predicted the whole line here, which is nice. Of course, I don't now take here as I originally erroneously calculated because yes, I hang a rook on a8, but I can just play bishop c6. And actually, this seems to be, I don't know, far more liberating for my pieces than it is... Ooh, let me hold that thought. That's very concerning. I was thinking, you know, if takes, I can, you know, my knight can breathe. That's extremely concerning. I think I have to play queen d8 here. I mean, we want to defend this forking threat on b6. We want to probably not blunder the fork of the queen on e7. That's clearly a very strong knight, but I think I should be able to remove it. And this is held by the knight. So I will just step across queen d8. I don't think that's immensely problematic. That is though. Oh my god. Oh my god, this sucks. And if I ever take, are you just gonna take with the pawn and then squeeze me to death? Very plausibly. I do have a check. It doesn't really seem that that bears much fruit though. Okay, I also can come out this way. I don't know if there's a difference between going this way or this way, but oh no, there is. I attack this pawn, which I kind of like. Let's do this, because should you take here, I guess I can recapture. You could put your other knight in, and then geez, do I have to just move my queen? If here and here, that's kind of interesting actually. Man, they're just going to defend the pawn. This is a nasty game. I'm not currently enjoying this. I really thought I was doing something over here, but apparently I've done absolutely nothing, and they've, you know, I incorrectly calculated that I just missed the whole putting a knight into d5. That's horrible. However, if here and here, am I being insane, or does that kind of slow down their attack a bit? You know, it closes off the bishop. I think I might be being insane. Oh, rook f5. Disconnect the queen from the defense of the pawn. How ridiculous is that? Rook f5 here. I just take, you take, I take, you take. Yeah, no, that seems completely absurd. I genuinely don't know what to do. This is beyond concerning. Right, how about that? Take here, do your worst, squeeze me out, kill my bishop, solidify this pawn, play f5 at some point, and consequently win the game. Honestly, if you take like this, I might play bishop e8 so that I can play h5 and hold this pawn and then try and kick the queen out of there. Maybe even trapping her with king h7, bishop h6. Where's my bishop actually going to belong right now? I don't know. You know what? Genuinely, on e8. We've locked this up here. Oh, if I go here, is that just this? And am I dead? No, I can play this maybe. Right, I'm taking this, and I think I'm going to try and root the bishop here. I'm going to take like this, and then I'm going to play bishop. Now I feel like 25 times better, actually. Getting both the bishops on these diagonals. Okay, I think my opponent might have had something more accurate there. That might have been a little early to go for this pawn break. But this bishop e8, bishop g6, just insanely odd routing of the bishops, has left my king very oddly defended. And I could play bishop f6 here even. I could also just bring my queen across. This knight needs some serious work, bloody hell. Again, in an endgame, you know, could snap this off to have the protected passed pawn. I don't know how important that is to me right now. Hold on, I know what is important though, not just losing on time. So queen f8. This is a very interesting and kind of stagnant pawn structure going on. Let's just move. I mean, maybe they come in here and just restrict this, or they do that. Obviously they do that. What is wrong with me? Ah, man. Right, how about you start by getting the hell off me? How about you start by doing that? And then maybe queen g7 and rook f8. And if I can somehow bring this knight into like e8 and then to f6. Oh no, if I hung this. Oh no. Oh dear. They're going to take that. And if I take here, I lose my queen. And then I recapture, and then they take here, and then I push. I literally, are you serious? I'm not. Hello? That was a free queen? Wait, can I sack? The bishop supports this. I don't know, am I being completely insane? Yeah, I think I am being completely insane. Just move. They're just, they can't come here though. This is now protected pass pawn. I have 22 seconds. This is ridiculous. They can maybe pick this up. I will then be pushing this. I mean, I can't believe they didn't just take my queen. I'm going to try and sneak the promotion in somehow. They might get bishop e4 though. You're about to either witness just a depressing defeat or the most insane clutch of all time with 22 seconds on the clock. I mean, let's see. Let's see what happens. Dude, have my knight. You can't give me a check here. And you can't come here. And this is protected. What's going on? Chat to me now. What's going on here? Oh my god. I might pre-move this. Is that okay pre-move? Nah, but I'm going to hover over it. Okay, would have been a great pre-move. You now have to trade queens because I'm going to take on f1. Or you have like queen a6, I guess. Wait, queen a6, what's my move? I'm going to go queen d1. Just keeping pressure, keeping pins, tickling everything. You move this bishop now, I'm going to play this. I have two queens on the board. No, I'm not going to do that. Man, that's so annoying. I need to get my other queen involved, but the fact that this queen's stopping the mating, that's a move. That's a pre-move. Oh my lord, I've done it. I've done it. King g2, it's mate. You don't move the king, it's also mate. You have no check. c4's lost the game. I have no idea Oh, let's not celebrate too early. May have celebrated... No, I celebrated perfectly on time. That might have been the best, worst game of chess I've ever played in my life. I don't know if I can even bring myself to analyze this. The opening was played fantastically. Knight c3, I should have... This was a blunder, wow. Seems a little harsh. Knight here, I guess, fine. Okay, and then f4 and knight b6. And I guess I put a bunch of pressure on this pawn. That makes sense. I fixed this pawn as backwards with no help from its... I guess I fixed this pawn as backwards and therefore it can't help this pawn, so... I guess to some extent that's backwards, although there is a pawn behind it, whatever. We've got tiers of backwards pawns going on here. I should have been trying to put pressure on them. Okay, that makes sense. And in the future, if I get anything equally ridiculous, I guess I'll go for it. But knight here was a... Oh, I'm an idiot. Queen d8, I could have just taken this and solved all my problems. Okay, queen d8 was completely inane. Then I spent a while being kind of losing. Takes, bring the bishop back. I actually ended up, after takes, and then takes... And sorry, bishop g6. I ended up being fine here. And then actually somehow winning in this position... because I could have taken this and had the pass pawn. I guess I waited one move too late because they came over with the rook, and then of course I kicked this and then played the blunderous bishop takes knight. I mean, I had 51 seconds left. I was assuming after takes here that I was going to be able to play b2. However, my opponent very easily could have played bishop e4 there. I was thinking that maybe there was a genius queen sack and an inevitable promotion. It clearly wasn't inevitable. They could have easily stopped it. It was nothing other than a blunder to take here. However, my opponent just blindly recapturing the bluff of a century. I mean, I guess you expect me to not just hang my queen there. But we move the queen, and at this point... Hold on, after this point, 51 seconds, this was played perfectly. Bishop goes back, bring this across, takes is a blunder, because I can take, and push. Oh my lord. This was perfect. Queen f8. And then I go queen over here. That was not the best move. Oh, okay, coming in with this queen. I like leaving this queen here to just not allow any checks, especially when I'm low on time. I have 17 seconds here. But bringing this queen over, then playing just queen to e1. I mean, clearly a terrible move for my opponent to go for c4. I can only think that I was about to take this pawn and they thought I might as well push it and secure this whole structure here. You know, they really did throw that away, because if they hadn't played c4, let's be honest, I was probably going to end up flagging there. You know, the bishop actually makes it weirdly hard for me to get in with the queen, but they play c4. I then very quickly realize that bishop c4 is an unstoppable resource, and over the next 6 seconds proceed to go check, and mate. There were of course far more efficient mates which I did not play. Takes here, no way. So the best move here is bishop e4, which does make sense because I'm uncheckable. Your queen can't like actually get back. You've blocked everything off here, and I will just be mating you on e4. But it's hard to see a non-check with 6 seconds on the clock. You want to keep doing checks. And to be completely fair, like these were all forcing moves, so that after here I could sack, you know, force the king out, sack here. Sorry, not sack here, but take here, force the king here or here. If the king had gone here, I'd have gone at checkmate like this, and the king went back here, so then check, only legal move, check, and then, you know, here or here, it's going to be mate on f3. Yeah, that was, as I say, one of the worst games of chess I've played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I tend to kind of cherry pick only the best of my games, the most beautiful and the most probably accurate. Few inaccuracies always, you gotta have smattered in there. But you know, I tend to pick the best quality games. This may be, you know, a complete queen hang and then my opponent missing it. Let me know in the comments if you like this kind of game. If the entertainment value maybe makes up for just the sheer lack of skill on display. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.